I've been here before. It's there's two suns in the sky, and the ground is green, and it's got green, like ferns, or like huge, like green ferns everywhere.
Do you have a body?
Not really. I was thinking I could find my body.
Do you see any other people around? Or beings?
Yeah, there's a path. I'm on a hill, and I can go down the hill. But you know, it's like I don't really need a body here. So I feel like if I have a body, it's like a ball of light or something.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to travel down the path?
Yeah, I know where I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going down because there's a city down there.
As you travel down the path, what do you see?
Yeah. So it's all about this really cool green color, super green everywhere. Everything is green. I don't even see wood colors. I just see green. But then at the bottom of the path, there's like I just sort of rolled down like a snowball. It's like there's like a little bridge maybe or something, like a over thing that goes over water, and I'm crossing it now, and then I'm walking into I guess I'm walking. Somehow I got feet again. I'm walking into this place that looks like the Parthenon or something out of Greece, like it's big columns and marble and sparkly, glimmery, shimmery stone.
Sounds really beautiful.
Oh,
magnificent.
Oh my God, I remember this place.
What is it?
It's my home.
From another life?
Oh, no, from another place. There's people here. And I don't really think they look like people, so there's beings here.
What do they look like?
They look like the movie Cocoon. They're all like sort of tall, sinewy, radiant light beings.
It's beautiful.
More like there's more light than form, but there's definitely form. Like there's arms and legs. That's what I look like too.
Are they familiar to you?
Yeah, everybody feels like home here.
It's like family?
Yeah, like family.
Do they see you?
Yeah, they see me. I think they were expecting me.
I bet they were.
Expecting me to show up today.
Is any specific one of them there to help you or guide you on this journey? Or are they all sort of just welcoming you?
It's just like a big party. Everyone's here, but there's not any. Let me see if there's anyone in particular.
If you'd like to take a moment to greet everyone and love on everyone, that's good.
It's going to sound really weird, but I mean, like it's hard to say that there's anyone here besides myself, because we're kind of like all the same one, but we have more than one form. So it's like a homecoming of myself. It's really, really cool. But each of us is different at some level. It's like, how to explain that? It's like each of us is the same one, but there's different. So
there's individuals, but you're in one accord.
Well, how is this? If we were all red, then some are light red, some are dark red, some are maroon, some are pink, but we're still the same. Right. So it's not we're the same species. We're the same being, but we have all these forms, and we're all the same one, and we all have we know ourselves as the same one, but we all have individual knowings of ourselves too. There's a gathering of all of us here now at this very same time. So there's a reason that this is happening right now.
It's like a divine gathering of sorts? Do you have any knowings there that you don't normally have? I mean, do you have a connection with them? A mental connection?
Mm-hmm.
Do you speak telepathically with them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's no voice, there's no talking. It's like gathering the light. It's like we don't need to do anything here. We have to be here. We're gathering to concentrate the light.
Mm-hmm. So is this gathering for the earth changes coming, the coming age of miracles?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're calling ourselves home to concentrate the light.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone here is here, but we're also here in
on
this earth. So we're not all just there. We're here and we're there.
So it's like higher aspects of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Higher dimensional aspects.
But we don't normally do this. This is like you said, a divine gathering. It's more like it's more like an emergency meeting.
What is the main concerns of this meeting?
It's because this is like a threshold time for the planet, or it's like when you're in a birth canal and you're being born. It's not a safe time. It's a crossing over time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of fear, and the fear. It's like it's like if you were on a tightrope crossing over to a new place, and then you're meditation, and you're really still inside, and you know you'll be fine, but then somebody starts shouting or screaming, you know. So there's a feeling that we're crossing over together. So everybody is crossing over to somewhere better, and yet there's a fear that is perilous. So the light is to calm the fears, to calm or remove the fear.
Is the fear coming from the lower aspects of us on Earth?
Yes, and it's coming from the children of Adam. It's coming from the people of the earth, and there are some forces that are increasing the fear on purpose to make it so that it disrupts the crossing.
What types of things are they doing to increase the fear on the planet?
The underlying fear, the thing that's being generated is a fear that there's something you can't control. You know, that you could die from a virus, or the planet will burn, or a solar flare will destroy the earth, or every one of these messages is at one level true, and at another level it's just to create fear. And every one of these things that could be true could also be overcome with light, and the light has no place with fear. You can't have fear and light coexisting.
So to stamp out the light, they're trying to create fear to distract the light workers on the planet.
Distracting you because you're crossing. You're in a crossing. It's like a tightrope. You're crossing something. We're all doing this crossing together. But there's a lot of fear, and it's easy to fall when you're being distracted. Yeah. So this gathering of the light, because you know, it's not just. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Like, we're not doing anything here. We're being the light together, and that is like a powerful force to concentrate the light together by focusing on being it, by being this light together.
So it's supposed to add to you guys are adding to the trust and the faith of those crossing, rather than the people that's like, don't fall, you're going to fall, and you're on this tightrope, right? Distracting.
Exactly, yeah. And it's subtle because, you know, the messages are also true. Like, so it's not the thing that matters. It doesn't matter that there's a pandemic, or there's a virus, or there's a fire, or that the water levels are going to rise, or that the sun could flash a flare or something. It doesn't matter. They're all irrelevant. They're true and irrelevant to the light. The memory of the light is what is missing, and that's what we're bringing back. and it will prevail. But in the crossing, it's just fragile right now. We're just in a very fragile time, very perilous crossing time, and in the end, it's not a matter of will the crossing be successful. It's as if how many will make the crossing.
So we are trying to get to some sort of tipping point?
Uh-huh.
So they're trying to delay it or slow it down, but it's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
So they're trying to reduce the amount of people that make it across successfully, I guess.
Let me just ask about that.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a best time to cross, although there isn't time anyway, because time is what we are made out of. Light and time are the same, but there's a best here and now where the crossing is easy and
more optimal,
and there will be a crossing at this easy here and now optimal time. But the question is that in this crossing, what will be left behind, and when will the next crossing be? And can we not just get everyone, as many people, children of light, shepherding and guarding and helping the children of Adam cross now? Because the feeling is that who remains, what remains, then it's like trying to extract people from a war zone instead of simply guide them across a bridge. There's a focus now on trying to make sure as many are able to cross in the right here and now, the easy here and now. And there's a range of possibilities. There's a range of the highest possibility that's being hoped for. And either way, there is a crossing. That doesn't stop. That's not in jeopardy.
Is crossing the coming age of miracles, is that all the same thing?
Yes, it's the same thing.
Does everyone cross together at the same time, or will some people begin to show these miracles to help others see and cross over as well?
Yeah. So it's not two places, it's one place.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's not like, let me just try to understand what I'm seeing. There's not one place that we go to and then there's a place we left. It's one place. It's just one place becoming something new, becoming this age of miracles for the greatest number of souls to join in the crossing.
So it's shifting into a higher dimension rather than going somewhere.
Yeah, but yes, I guess that's the way of putting it. Within this one dimension, there's a birth. And this one dimension is a new dimension by virtue of its birth into this new age. And the dimension that would be above us, let's call it that, or the one over from us, is closest to us, is restored in the birthing of this one, because something collapsed in that dimension. And we lost our home. As we help birth in this dimension into its new age, we restore our own home.
Mm-hmm.
So
we it's a restoration.
The children of Adam don't change to another dimension. They birth a new world in this one.
So it's a transformation.
And we're here to help so we can go home to our true home. We don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the light is generated from the birthing of this dimension here transmits to our home and restores it again.
So is environmental changes part of this sort of shift that we're talking about?
Yeah, the earth is birthing with this crossing into her own new form as well. It's still earth. Doesn't change. Still got her lakes and rivers and streams. She does have less people here, but that's okay.
So are some of the earth changes natural and just part of the shift, and then some of the earth changes are man-made disasters and things like that to sort of build fear, or?
Mm. Yeah, well, the earth is having her own changes that she's choosing.
Mm-hmm.
So changing her configuration of her continents and changing her locus of power from where she sits in her own seat of truth. And so in changing, yes, there is fire and there is changes of water levels and changes of coastline. That's just her changing. Some illnesses and some diseases are our own making, and others are natural. Mm-hmm. Earth Mother's way of assisting the transition here by creating mutations in the genetic structure of the children of Adam so that they have the capacity to remember and hold the light that they are. So all illness that is viral is going to help the children of Adam genetically mutate a bit. But there are other things going on too. There's a lot of fear that's not needed because I feel like the forgetting is the problem. It's forgetting. The children of Adam and their forgetting are generating a huge wave of fear. And even the children of light forget sometimes.
So the children of light must remember who they are and what they're here to do to be able to assist the children of Adam?
And to return home.
Mm-hmm.
Because serving our service is our redemption.
For those that are children of light, how can they best assist the children of Adam, or is that all automatic? Does the vibration do the changes, or?
Mm-hmm. By remembering our nature, it's the same nature of the children of Adam. It's the light, the radiant light.
So it's just reducing fear can be our biggest job.
Mm-hmm. But when we remember our light, we generate a field of peace and acceptance and trust that
pushes the fear away.
Yeah, but we live it. We live it when we remember the light that we are. And then we transmit it to those near us, both the children of light and the children of Adam. Just doing the work of being ourselves, right. Remembering ourselves is what's mattering now. It's not the form it takes. It doesn't matter if you're a hypnotist, an astrologer, a tarot reader, a healer, a sound healer, a nutritionist, a farmer, a librarian, a Starbucks barista. It doesn't really matter what you do. It's the light you emanate by being who you are and remembering that truth.
So that emanates out to other children of the light, and then there's like a chain reaction that I see happening then.
Yes, I was just going to say it's like that chain reaction, and it has a kind of momentum too, that once it starts to fire off. I'm seeing an image of this movie I watched years ago. It's a Star Trek movie, and it's something like the word Genesis is in it, but it's like this thing that sparks off life on a planet, and it takes off like all these little kinetic dots of light start sparking and sparking, and a dead planet becomes alive. So it has both a need now to concentrate on this light and to not be distracted by the fear, and to know that you don't have to do it all. It's just you're like a fire, a good fire. You're part of a good fire that's going to take off, like a fire of truth and light. And by your participation, the momentum happens.
How does this momentum play out? Is it a faster event like some people see, or is this something that plays out over a long period of time, or somewhere in between?
It's as if there's pockets of acceleration in micro pockets, like microclimates in weather. There's micro pockets of acceleration where there are fields of generated of light, where within that field, which would be a locality, like a place on Earth, there's a huge coming age of miracles pocket. And then these pockets begin to create the momentum. So it's both sequential and seemingly based in time. And it's also instantaneous and all at once, which is hard to understand, but it's both. And these pockets are geographical places where people have constellated the light.
Sort of like your analogy with setting a fire, being a fire in your area, and at some point there is a tipping point where the fires begin to merge and it sort of consumes it all with this new energy.
Just like a real fire, that's how it works. And it doesn't require that you are trying to do this. It's just simply going into that inner peace that happens to connect with the light. You know, the light doesn't have fear. You know you're in the light of your true self and the light of being when your fear is no longer there. And that includes anxiety. That includes just worry and consternation and fretting. And it also includes anxiety and deep, profound fear and panic. All of the range of that is a part of what is not possible when the light of your true being is recognized, remembered, and lived.
So it's something that unfolds naturally, but fear can hold you up or slow it down.
Fear cannot impede the inevitable remembrance, but of true light, true self. It has impact on the crossing. This could be a gentle, easy crossing, just like a birth of a child. It could be that. Or it could be perilous and fraught with anxiety. And it's the anxiety, fear, worry that is going to cause contraction. That means that not as many people cross. I'm seeing a picture of an analogy of relaxation when something is, it's when a cervix is open completely at 10 dilated centimeters for a mother giving birth, that the birth is easy for the birth for the child and for the mother. But sometimes births happen when the cervix is not completely dilated, and that's a difficult birth. This is meant to be a fully dilated crossing, but there's so much fear, and part of the fear is being created by forces that would like the crossing to be ineffective or less effectual. It's not like a war. It's not like the good and the bad and the evil thing. It's not like that. Not really. But it's the power and the control that is held by certain forces, not people, that is in resistance to the coming age of miracles. And it's very mild resistance compared to what it could be right now. But it just happens to be that this resistance is at a time of a crossing. So therefore, it's got more weight than it normally would. Just like a mother is in labor, it's a fragile time.
So we need more relaxation, more dilation for this to move much easier.
Yeah. And, I think that it's things that we do that are so small sometimes that create greater light. It's the simplest things. It's like the kindness that we can display for each other.
Yeah.
It's just a smile that you can give somebody when they look like they're having a hard day. It's that simple stuff.
What can we tell the children of the light that may hear this information? What can they do? Just release fear? Is that the primary thing that's sort of causing more resistance in this transition?
So I'm seeing the symbol of the Ankh from ancient Egypt, and one of my elements of me in this place I'm in, this beautiful two sun world, is brought forth the symbol of the Ankh to show me. So feeling like your question for the children of light has something to do with the meaning of the Ankh. I don't know it well enough. I know it's considered something to do with life.
Mm-hmm.
There's that to be learned more about, I suppose. I feel like it has to do with the key is that life is eternal, and the remembrance of the eternity of your true self. That the body that you inhabit is not life. Life is your eternal light. And that remembering that truly allows you to operate from a place of compassion, kindness, fearlessness, gratitude with your fellow brothers and sisters
Mm-hmm.
that are the children of Adam, that need you to be that in your own life so that they can learn to be that in theirs. That's all it is. The only fear we have is the fear that we're not eternal, really, that somehow we're going to perish. There's no such thing.
So it's going back within to the divine that's within each and every one of us and spreading that out to other people rather than being controlled by the external factors that can create fear.
You can't die. That's the truth. You cannot die. And because you cannot die, because you are eternal and you are of light, and you can open into that relaxation in every moment of your life, no matter what the outer world circumstances are, no matter that there is a virus or there is a fire or there is or in a small way in your own life, a shortage of money right now, or concern about your child, your friend. Because nobody can die. That's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, from that deep relaxation, this crossing is effortless and can be of such magnitude.
So is there a time frame on this tipping point? Is this something that we will see happen this year, or is this decades, or how do you see it playing out time-wise?
Yeah, there's a lot of energy that looks like concentrated light in 2027.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly in the first 5 months, the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, I'm in a bedroom when I'm talking to you, and as soon as I said that, the sunlight shone through the window. My
Mm-hmm.
eyes are closed, and it just, my whole life, was cloudy until this moment. And then, so there's a concentration of light, and when I said that, as a light shone in my room in 2027, in the first 5 months. Feels like very much a shift, a big collective shift at once. It feels like we have a lot of help right then in that moment. That those months are filled with support from other places and times and dimensions, or I don't know what to call it. It's like there's a rallying energy around us at that time. It's almost like when a woman is literally giving birth and now it's time to ease the baby out. So that, there's a source of, there's energy concentrated to support the turning point of that transition. So there's a coming together of a lot of source of energy from beyond this realm and this dimension, this time, this place, just to midwife that time into being. And
I want to note that the time as the light shone into your room was 3:21 local time, counting down. So
it feels like the energy that goes toward that turning point is between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
is what is important that we attend to in our own lives as children of light and as beacons of light for the children of Adam, who are also of the light and are only our brothers and sisters. Only our brothers and sisters. We are no better or no worse.
Mm-hmm. Do you see anything as far as a partner for you? Anybody you know or might meet in the future? Is there a partner in your future that you're being shown?
Oh, this is funny, huh? So the being that came forth to show me the Ankh, the one of us in this place that I'm in, my bifurcated self, Lori on the bed, Lori in this Parthenon-like place with two suns. is my partner. So there, my next question to myself is he on the earth plane or is he just over there? Let me tune in. Come on, guys, you got to give me a real person. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So there's a physical form this person has in real time on Earth.
Do you know this person yet?
I hear you know of him, so I don't think I know him, but I've maybe known of him. Maybe I've heard of him or crossed paths or something like that.
How much longer do you need to wait? Will they let you know that?
I just had the calendar flip to September in my mind's eye. It's this year. I hope that's true. Just 2020 on the calendar. And looking at the word September, so that's what I see. Time will tell.
Is there anything that you should know about the children of light, children of Adam, that hasn't been shown to you here? That can reassure you about your work?
Yeah. I know that I have expressed fear about the book, but I'm being told more or less it's the most important book you can write right now, and or transcribe, and it will be in the hands of the most perfect publisher. It's not yours to do. Just let it go. It's going to find its way. The other books that I've written or transcribed are important too, but they will become more known because of this book. The first book, The Coming Age of Miracles, the second one, The Way of Miracles, are almost like the they're like the study guide or something for the children of light, children of Adam. So I'm to focus there, to make sure that I don't let my own worry about it stand in the way of listening to the words that I'm being given in the morning and writing it.
The ancient Ankh symbol, did that come from Egypt? Do you have some kind of connection with Egypt?
Yeah, well, I believe it has something to do with Egypt, because I know that Hermes Trismegistus is my source for my book, has an Ankh in his hand in the pictures, or Thoth has an Ankh in his hand. My Egypt connection is from many lives. I've lived in Egypt many lives, from the very beginning of the fall of the children of light. Well, basically, it's my home away from home, Egypt.
So this time that we're in is really what you've been working towards all of these lifetimes, then?
I've been working to find times and places to incarnate where there are constellated lights. People are gathering and people are attempting to create the crossing, because the crossing happening here and now, let's say 2027, is not happening in just 2027. It's happening in every time and place that the light is constellated to create the crossing. And rather than see it as a sequence of times in a linear story, connecting one time after the other before the next, it is actually as if it is a vertical experience that's happening in one instant. And so it just is that the crossing happens to correspond with the incarnational time frame of the next 20 years. But it is happening in multiple times, through multiple times and places where the light has been constellated. It's like weaving together a necklace through space and time that then has all the beads it needs. And I am living in this time, which is the time of the happening, but not the time of the causing of the happening. It's all of the time.
That's amazing. I'm seeing how this sort of relates with why we see the Mandela effect play out like it does, where it looks like things have changed and always been that way. Things happen together, I guess. Is that, what do you see happening with the Mandela effect? Is it?
Yeah, the Mandela effect is the like the kaleidoscope configuring itself into a new form by a small rotation of the dial of the kaleidoscope. But it's still the same beads and the same stones or rocks or colored pebbles inside the kaleidoscope, just reconfigured slightly. And the reconfiguration of our reality is noticed by mostly the children of light, because the children of Adam don't have enough light to notice, to retain the memory of the old as the new comes into form. Because time is light and light is time. And the more light that you remember, the more you are a master of time, because you are time. So how can you not be a master of that which you are? So we constellate the reality, constellate it back into a new form. Every reconstellation looks different and is noticed by some of us. And that constellation is to create the most relaxed opening, the most spacious opening for the crossing.
So as we move closer to 2027, are we going to see more of these changes in our reality that we call the Mandela effect? Are they going to speed up as well?
All of the signs that you are a child of light and a being of time, which is to say that time is of the light, and you are of the light, and you constellate the light, and you increase the light, you also are of the light, and the light is time, and then time is timeless because you are it. All of that is because we are remembering our light. And then synchronicity and Mandela effect and miracles and healings are all so much more obvious and so much more evident. They are always there, though. They're always there, just often not seen and noticed.
Is there anything the children of the light or the children of Adam can do to help bring about more miracles or gifts for themselves?
Every day, be still and know that you are God. So every day, be still. Remember your truth of who you are. You are the same light of the Creator. And if you forget the light of the Creator within you, stop, be still, and remember every day.
So taking that time to connect with the divinity and the light within us will help bring about more.
It doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to be an hour-long meditation, or it just needs to be a simple stopping, stilling your mind, breathing, remembering.
Yeah, that's what I've been shown too. It's having that awareness that you're always connected, right?
That's what the synchronicities are here for too, just to remind us. If you ever forget that you're connected, then the synchronicity can make you smile and remind you of it.
Brings you back to the moment.
But if you're afraid, you're not going to feel the light and you're not going to remember the truth. So maybe ask for a synchronicity to remind you of that you're not alone. That you're the one, that you're the big one. You're the one that has many forms.
I love the synchronicities that happen that way. It was 333 when you said when you get the synchronicities.
I can hear somebody knocking on the roof above me as we were talking a few minutes ago, and it was about
hello.
I know. I think it was the beads of the necklace through space and time, and then there's knock, 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 because they're doing construction upstairs, but not normally above the bedroom, right? Just only now, as I'm saying, through all these eras of time, so, boom, 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 knock, knock, knock. It was during the time of the constellation of help that we're going to have in 2027 as well.
Yeah.
Maybe the metaphor is that help is only one door away, but it is knocking to get through.
Right. It's the
Just have to
doorway.
answer the door and say, "Come on in. Come on in, my ascended master angel guide." Whatever it is helping you at any moment.
Is there anything else that Lori needs to know today while we're here, this journey?
No, not really. Just she needs to go back to swimming, but she knows that already. She's reluctant to resume her regular exercise program. But when she swims, she's very connected to the light. So back to her lap swimming.
Can you scan Lori and see if there's any kind of healing or blockages or anything that needs to be cleared away or healed in her? Anything harmonized or?
Yeah. She keeps doing the weak knee, left knee thing, which she's afraid of the next step. So the knees bothered her this week when she's been fearful about the channeled book she's writing. So she needs to recognize the knees just telling her to stop being afraid of the next step. Don't be afraid of the next step. It's okay. It's okay. The knee doesn't have to hurt to remind you that you're afraid. You can just stop being afraid. She knows already that it's like her canary in the coal mine knee. It's like this, it just wants to tell her that she's dragging her feet, or she's holding back, or she's engaging in a temporary distraction and fear.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay, well, I guess we will bring you back to your light body. There's no more clearings or anything that need to be done.
I don't feel anything else. It's just the need. Let me look at her body again. Okay. She could let go of her thyroid issue if she wants. She's had that for 8 or 9 years, and she's tried to fully restore her thyroid to 100% working order, but she hasn't really believed it was possible. But she could do that now if she wants. Mm-hmm.
It's just the lack of belief that's stopping her then. Just have a little faith.
It's the messages of the system that tells her that what has been destroyed in a gland is not repairable. But she knows at one level that's not true at all, and yet she's held on to this belief. She's really not totally delinquent because she did stop the thyroid damage from happening after the diagnosis of the condition 9 years ago, but she's not allowed the thyroid to have a miracle healing where the initial damage has been repaired. And that would be for her like the miracle age that she's talking into being through her books, because it's not medically possible apparently, and yet she knows of course it's possible. The thyroid gland does not need to work at a suboptimal level. You can actually heal that. She knows that anyway. It's like preaching to her choir. I feel like so she's ready to let the thyroid problem go.
Excellent. Can we ensure that her chakras are all clear and harmonized and everything to make sure her connection's perfect?
Okay. Well, she's got some minor congestion in the sacral chakra area, but looking at it from my perspective it's just slow, not slowed down from its normal speed. It's moving a little slow, like when you flush a toilet and you wonder if it's going to go all the way through. You know what I mean? Like it's sluggish. It's a slow whirlpool instead of a fast one like it should be. So she could definitely increase the energy in the second, or it's a second chakra, really.
Can we clear that for her, or is there anything she can do to clear it?
She could use a sex partner in her life again, but until that happens, being creative right now would be good. Just like not doing so much work and just painting or drawing or writing poetry. These are ways that she stimulates the energy of that chakra and making time to do that for no reason other than sheer joy and pleasure of doing the creative stuff. But in the meantime, until a lover comes, that would work.
Okay.
Until her lover comes.
Perfect. Is there anything to the broader audience that might be helpful?
When you are in a time in your life where you can't believe that time flew, or you got somewhere way too fast and you don't know how it happened because you really should have taken longer to drive from A to B, or when you're in a time in your life where you need more time to get something done and suddenly you manage to elongate time and it stretches. These are reminders that you are light, and light is time, and there's nothing that time has over you. You are that which time moves through as you. And so it's like, look at those little things in your life that make you smile when time does something strange, and remember that it's you. It's you. You are that which time is. So your life is always about time, getting to somewhere on time, running to get there on time, be on time, make a deadline, meet some time thing. You can only do this at a certain time. The moon is ripe and the sun is there and the sky is this way, so it's the right time for something. But that's not really true. That's not totally really true. Yeah, it's like better to do something in this time than that time. I wouldn't plant a seed in December and expect to see it sprout in the month of December. But you have ultimate mastery of time. And the more you play with time as a time master, the more you remember the light that you are, because it is time itself, and light and time are one. And I know somehow, some way, that some scientist knows that's true as well. But for every one of us every day, if we play playfully with time, to speed it up and slow it down, to let it be a reminder of your true nature.
That could be really helpful in certain instances. So to consciously take more control over that which we are, which is light and time.
Oh, Lori's figured this one out. She's like, she'll be working on something and she's got no time to get it done before it's due or whatever. And the next thing she knows, time is like so slow. She's got more than enough done, and then she's got time for something else. And she's like, how did time slow down? She keeps looking at the clock, and she looks at her laptop, she looks at the clock, and she's, oh my God, time's not even moving. So it's one of the best and most easy ways, rather than getting into a deep, meditation. You can just play with time to remember your radiant, the radiant light of the Creator itself.
That's beautiful. I love that. Well, I want to send gratitude to all of our light family there. Thank you so much for this wonderful journey and session. Be sure to check out the website at uotf.net. There you will find the live stream schedule displayed in your local time right there on the front page. Below that, you'll find links to take the Beyond Quantum Healing course at a discounted rate, purchase our book, Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe, in paperback or ebook, or to contact me to schedule a BQH session. At the top of the site, you'll find links to help support the work I do, access the free private forum where you can discuss organizing get-togethers in your area, Mandela effects, and more. Thank you all so much for being here.